Hello and welcome to the Above Average podcast. I'm Sean and this is
Snithin.
the Above Average podcast. Is all about things that you will hear every day. You'll be merging things about what our life is all about and what we're talking about. So you're going to have a lot of stuff like facts and personal life mixed together. So today we are talking about the evolution of us in the UAE along with UAE's evolution, and we are starting off with Nitin. Nitin, what do you have to say about the history of the UAE?
So it is something like from the pearl to oil, and now with oil they have technology as well. Like I can say from Burj Al Arab to Burj Khalifa, how far it has grown.
Right.
This is like a dreamland. Like you see, every day you see a lot of innovations happening, new things coming up. Like there is no, like, what do I say? There is no limitations for the innovation and technology being developed here.
Right.
It is like a land of development, actually, to be honest, because every day their dream is to develop to the next stage, be the best out there.
Right.
And technically, I don't need to tell you more because our life has been around here for a long time. You just few years back you moved out, so you also know about all about the UAE and the history, how they have grown.
True. So, for those who are not aware of it, so UAE stands for the United Arab Emirates, and basically the Emirates are seven cities. So you would say Emirat in Arabic.
Yes.
My Arabic is rubbish. So you have seven Emirates or seven cities of the UAE. You start off with Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Ajman, Umm Al Quwain, and Fujairah, and Ras Al Khaimah. So these are seven cities that are there of the UAE. All right. So Nitin, where are you located in the seven Emirates?
I'm in the capital city, like Abu Dhabi.
So in terms of capitals, we're talking about you have the commercial capital and the capital capital. So Abu Dhabi is like the capital of the
The
United
capital.
Arab Emirates, yeah, and Dubai is the commercial capital. So basically, you have all the major trades happening through Dubai. So if I'm right, Dubai is like you have two major components in Dubai. So like, what do you?
It's not like it's like in historically Dubai has like two major segments,
Right,
and that is like Bird Dubai and Dera. I would say that Bird Dubai is known for the museums and frame, Dubai Souk, all those like heritage village, all those kind of things.
right.
Dera is like there is known for the Cree Golf, Dera Gold Souk, all those. And right now we got business there. Like right now we got many more. It's not about the two segments anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think at this point in
Yeah,
time, most of the cities are actually being like not. They themselves are having different components. You have the residential component as well as the
true.
commercial component of those
Yeah,
cities, right?
but
So
Dubai is like widespread.
I mean, yeah, Dubai is actually the most well-known city for most of the people. Like in India, when you say that,
Yeah,
that you're from the UAE, people have a like, double
true. They
take
just
on you.
ask Dubai. Yeah,
Dubai, yeah. So
yeah.
like
They just
basically,
ask
it's
Dubai. Yeah.
yeah. So like in India also, like if it's an outsider, many of the people would not realize that Delhi is the capital of India. They will think it's Mumbai because you've heard so much about it. So
True.
when you're talking about Dubai, so again, let's just take this into consideration. So the one fact about UAE is that the major industry for the UAE was the pearl diving industry or the pearl industry.
Yeah, that is a before.
Yeah, so like
That
way
long back.
before, yeah, so that
Way
so
before. Yeah.
way before Dubai was Dubai, Abu Dhabi was Abu Dhabi. You had like the pearl diving and the pearling industry that was a major industry for the UAE. So like when you mentioned about Dera, so Dera Creek was a commercial center at the earlier times with
Yes.
dough. So Nitin, have you ever gone on a dough?
Sorry.
Have you ever been on a dough? DHOW dough, like dough?
No.
No.
No. No. No.
So actually, there were like in breakwaters, like in Abu Dhabi, you have the cruise. You can take the cruise, like in
Man,
the upper deck
not
and go
really
on.
interested. No, no,
Really?
not really interested. Yeah, not really
It's
interested
not
in
like
all
you going
those.
alone. It's like a whole bunch of people sitting there. You just sit on there and think, oh,
Ah,
look at those
no.
lights.
No, no, no,
Not
I'm not
these
interested in
lights.
all those.
So when you're talking about the dough, like the UAE is actually sort of is the strategic location specifically when it comes to the trade part of it because it's like when it's like when you say Middle East, it's basically the middle of the East, right? So the trade between the western area of the world and the eastern area of the world, basically Europe to Asia, So you could say that the Gulf region was basically the center where you could just have to pass through to get your trade done and everything. So having the Arabian Sea there in form of a water body, so traveling by sea would be easier for the people to stuff. So
True.
spices and everything would be easier to shift because you had the cruises coming in, the doors, and then that would be like just imagine this, dude. You're like in the center, and you have one huge continent on your left side, and the remaining part of the world on the right side. And you're sitting in between over there. People are coming like, bro, I have to go through you. Like, okay, wait, I have pearl here. Would you want to buy some pearls? I mean, like that was a very strategic and a very nice way of doing it. You come here, visit us. You want to pass through here, but we have pearls to sell. Would you like to buy some? That was a very. I mean, that is how a lot of the economic part of the UAE is developed through the pearling industry. So,
But that
what?
didn't stop there. Then came the oil turn. Then that was a major game changer. A lot of like development, everything happened from there, and
Yeah,
a lot of hard work was there behind that.
yeah. I mean, in terms of architecture and stuff, like there were like I remember reading about this. There's something called as a wind tower. So UAE is, I mean, any place in the Gulf for the matter is a very hot and arid region. I remember these two words very specifically because this is what we used to study in the US, in the USST, that is UAE social studies. Like describe the Gulf or describe the climate of the Mediterranean region. So it's always like it's hot and humid. So back in the day when they didn't have fans or when obviously ACs and fans weren't there, they used to have this wind tower, right? So it's basically like this tall structure that is there in at a corner of the wall of the building or something, and the wind is flowing through the building through that particular wind tower.
Through that, yeah, because
Yeah,
they still have the museums here now open for the public visits.
yeah. They have it on top.
Yeah,
I think
so
they still have it.
the very old architecture they have kept it as it is actually. So you can see that life before how it was, everything. It was open for the public visit, and anyone who's visiting it should give it a try there. And it really clearly shows how the cooling system was, what was the dining table, what was the like bed, everything. Everything is kept as it is. All
So
those dressing tables as it was.
so this I think where would you find this? I think you would find this in Dubai specifically or in Al Ain.
No, it is in Abu Dhabi.
Eh? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know. I thought. I mean, I remember seeing it in Al Ain, although Al Ain is a part of Abu Dhabi now. But I remember seeing it in Al Ain, I think.
Mm, no, it like this is like one of the historical landmark and one of the very oldest stone building in Abu Dhabi. It is actually.
The towers. I mean, the
Yeah,
architecture. I mean,
the Qasr Al Uzin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but that's the name.
what did you say? What was it?
Qasr Al Uzin.
Okay, I'm going to take you on your word. Like, okay, yes, that is how it is pronounced. I have no. So obviously,
Yeah.
like, we all have our difficulty pronouncing a lot of things.
Because I
But
still
okay,
remember I was going to visit that. I had to tell the cab driver 5 times. Then
I
he
can
told me the
understand.
name. Then yeah. So I'm so sorry for the listeners. If the name is wrong, really I apologize for that.
Right. So, I mean, so there are so many things about the architecture, so even the architecture in terms of you. So you have basically in one same era, you have people living in tents also, and you have people living in like these kind of towers as well. So, like, I mean, if you've been to that location that you're talking about, right, where you have the wind tower still intact as it is, if you enter, you can still feel a bit of a breeze, even though you're in some corner of the, the place as such. It's an amazing architecture. So like
Yeah,
back
true.
then we were thinking about it.
It's really beautiful. You need to see the watchtowers, everything. You can technically see the each corner over there.
Yeah, so in the I remember going to one place in Alain, the last time that I was there in the UAE. So this was I think a fort. I think I'm not sure. I mean this place was huge. So you have the fort, and in between you have all the garden and stuff, which itself goes to show that the architecture back then it was made in such a way that it was basically protecting whatever was there in the campus, so in the fort campus as such. So you have your
But yeah,
yeah, so you have your oasis, you have your fruits and vegetables you're growing over there, your poultry, your a lot of things over. And speaking of poultry, dude, according to you, here's a fact question for you. What is called which animal is known as a ship of the desert?
you up?
Yeah, you know what? You remember? I mean, do you remember this thing? What this animal is known as the
No.
ship of the desert, the camel.
Oh shit! I didn't want to take a
Yeah,
risk.
yeah. No, no, no. You were like that close.
You-
Apparently, the camel was also known as the ship of the desert because you could travel for days and days together with like having a camel. So they would have one like a whole caravan of camels. So that's how the word caravan comes in. So you have like a line of camels one behind the other, and so there's this whole biological thing where the hump of the camel stores water, therefore you can travel for a longer time, and that is how majority of the trades happen because you would have to travel like from the UAE to another part of the Gulf, and they're traveling through the desert. So whether it comes to political alliances and during the war times and stuff, so because of the traveling, a large part of the alliances was because of the hospitality shown. Right. I mean, that even exists till today also because of us
yeah,
being
true.
expatriates. Yeah. So then, being the, like how we said, the strategic center, you have people coming in and the expatriates and everything. So the hospitality is one reason as to why it is having such good ties with the world and how it is growing. So,
Yeah, true. Because the third, like if we say you told about the hospitality level, I can say how the different cultural people are mingle around like together and how they're celebrating everything as one.
correct,
Like different, like we are mingling with different people, different nationals every day. We learn a lot actually. This is like a life experience, like
correct.
which I don't think which we'll get in any other different place. To be honest,
Yeah.
it's
I
quite
mean,
difficult.
it is because like
It
in
is.
most of the places you have this thing where I mean expatriate is a concept, but I think in the UAE, like in any region in the Gulf actually, so you have the apart from UAE, you have the remaining neighboring countries as well. So you have I think you have wait, I tell you, you have
Saudi,
Saudi,
Kuwait, Bahrain,
Qatar, Oman, and
Kuwait.
this. Yeah, so you have like so you have the UAE. I remember the map. Wait, we used to have it in the exam, right? So you have UAE, you
Yeah.
have below that you have you have Saudi Arabia, the huge desert down in Saudi Arabia. To the top left, you have Sultanate of Oman. Then you have Kuwait, and I know I missed somebody.
Yes.
So you have these few places
You're getting
over
there. You're getting there.
yeah, or I'm the one sitting in India, but I stayed in UAE long back, and I'm telling you what all of them. What man? But
Yeah.
so okay, so like we are talking about what we remember from what we studied in terms of the
Yes.
UAE. But
Like
apparently,
more like how we came here, what we had here to what we have right now.
so
Yeah. So I
apparent.
tell you, in
Please.
my way, I tell you what the evolution was from
Yo,
250
no, sorry.
shawarma to 10
Before,
shawarma.
before,
It
no,
was
no, wait. I have to get this up before we get to the show because this thing actually freaked me out. It not freaked me, but it sort of shocked me. So apparently, we are talking about the UAE all the way from 6,000 to 3,500 BC. Did you know about this? I mean, like there is a history of the UAE dating back to 6,000 to 3,500 BC. I mean, like this is the time when you're going backwards in the years, all the way
yeah.
till date. Okay, so this is one community that we haven't spoken about, which is actually the actual community of the UAE. That is the Bedouins, right? So the Bedouin tribes are ones that is basically the root of the UAE. I'm just looking to that. So in this, so you have 6,000 to 3,500 BC, the Paleolithic age. In this period, the Bedouin communities lived on fishing and plant collecting. This era was characterized by the emergence of pottery, evidence of which was found in Sharjah, Umm Al Quwain, Ras Al Khaimah, and Abu Dhabi. So when we are talking about pearls and all, like these people are like there since way before that.
Way before, yeah, obviously, because everything will have a start, right?
Yeah, I mean, but dude, 6,000 BC, man. I mean, I never really thought about all the way till back then. I was still thinking, okay, we're still in the 80s part of it, but yes, it's like it's a huge
There is
thing.
history. I would say like the books cannot cover all this. It will be all about like self-exploring.
Yeah, I mean, okay, look at this. I mean, the Jebel Hafid. So Jebel Hafid is a place that we used to, not we used to come, but we've heard a lot when we were there, when
Yeah.
people used to go, like, dude, okay, Jebel Hafid. I think this is the place where you have a lot of mountain ranges, right? Jebel Hafid.
True, true. You go to the top, the climate is like too good, like it's too cold on the top.
Yeah, but do you know what Jabal Hafid actually is? So, 3200 BC, apparently, this is known as the Jabal Hafid period because of the tombs found in Jabal Hafid near Alain city in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
So, Jabal Hafid is like a bunch of tombs over there, bro. Like how, so we are saying, oh, dude, it's very cold climate out here, but I think that's why it's cold because there's a lot of like, death, not
Mhm.
there are tombs over there. But okay, so yeah, so like this is so we are talking about different ages. You have evidence of the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, Gold Age, also apparently. Right. So apart from your different eras in terms of your Bronze Age and Iron Age and all, so we have like moved all the way down to like a quick run up. So we have all the way moving from 6000 BC all the way up to 1971 AD. And so this is on the UAE official website that's talking about the history. So so Nitin and I, we both know about the UAE from the 1980s. You know from 1990, I know from 1989.
Yeah.
So like I'm on like the teetering edge, like 1989, almost
I
1990.
came to yeah, I came to UAE on 98.
98?
98 I came.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's a long way off.
Yeah, because I did my grade 3 in India, then I moved in with my dad there.
Okay. So I was in the UAE. I was born in the UAE in Abu Dhabi in '89. So then I've been there still. I don't know the exact year, but I was there for like better part of my life, all the way
Cornish
till
Hospital.
Cornish Hospital. That's like the birth hub for all the kids in the UAE.
Yes.
So you have like, I mean, so since our podcast is about the evolution of the UAE, I mean, so even the Cornish Hospital as such has seen. So for those, let me just give a small, like a brief idea about what Cornish Hospital is all about. So Cornish Hospital is actually like the hospital that is, uh, well, in Cornish. Cornish is basically like the coastline of the UAE or the Abu Dhabi side. So you could actually see the Arabian Sea, if I'm right, from that side. The Cornish, the waters that are there. So over the years, the Cornish Hospital as such has evolved in terms of the medical care and stuff like that. But it still is being known as like the hospital, the go-to hospital for childbirth.
Childbirth, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like from what I used to remember in terms of Cornish Hospital or anywhere regarding the Cornish is like you go there and it is just a coastline, right? I mean, you could like directly land up at the beach. If I remember, just correct me if I'm wrong, but that is where you have the volcano, this thing, right? A fountain in
No,
Cornish.
no, that no,
Dude, volcano fountain thing was in Cornish, if I'm right? So it was.
no. It was in. If I'm not wrong,
Hmm,
the volcano fountain was in tourist club. If I'm not wrong.
no, no, it wasn't this thing. It was in Cornish.
Yeah,
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 because
yeah, yeah. The other one was a jug fountain.
jug found it was at the
Jug
old
fountain.
type. Yeah, the old type.
Yeah, yeah, all type.
This
Yeah,
wasn't in Airport Road, I think, the jug fountain. Or was it in
indeed.
Tourist Club?
No, our Kaldia.
Khalidia. It was towards
Kaldia,
the
I
side.
guess. Yeah.
Khalidia. So those of you who don't know about this, so the volcano fountain is basically like this huge structure that was there. I don't think I mean it's not there now, if I'm right. I think they have not. I mean they've removed it from there, I think. But it was a huge structure which every New Year and every this thing National Day, the December 2nd, they would
Mhm.
like decorate. So like today, what we see when you see us in the Burj Khalifa and the Burj Al Arab, you see that they have like lightings on the buildings for the National Day and stuff. So during the National
Eid
Day,
time.
yeah. So the Eid time and all, but the fountain that was it was usually decorated during the New Year's and the and the dude.
Celebration times, actually.
Yeah, but the fireworks, man, those days, just like
No.
you would see the crowd just standing there in the middle, like I think almost like 9:30, 10 in the night, and the volcano and then the fireworks happening was beautiful. And so
And one thing, the technology was not so advanced, and still they used to deliver a great work there.
Yeah, I mean, even in terms of technology, also like UAE has been like in like at the forefront. So like it's not Jugaad technology. Like Jugaad means like, so sorry for people who are not of the Indian vernacular. So Jugaad basically means like a patchwork. So if you don't have something, you just like make do or something, a makeshift thing you do of.
True.
So it wasn't a jugaad stuff. It was more like, okay, I have this technology now, I want to do this. So they would find ways to work on the existing technology and evolve that and match the requirement. So that was like that. I mean, that is something which still goes on in the UAE. So okay, so like so the for me the coastline or the horizon of the UAE or of Abu Dhabi included the volcano fountain, and through the years that horizon has transformed. So this is what I remember. But so, like today, what do you think? What do you see when you see the coastline of Abu Dhabi?
I see a lot of like eateries on the Cornish. Like it has changed a lot.
Yeah, I
Lot
mean,
of lot of beach access, eateries, breakwater, all those things.
yeah.
It is
So
more like bike tracks. Like people can express themselves there, like physical activities, lot of gameplays, and you can just grab your partner or kids and go for a good evening for ice creams and like that. Get some fresh air.
if you see over the years, many people have like, for example, the main reason why people know about the UAE is specific because of uh, one specific festival, which is your DSF. So I've never gone for
Yeah.
a DSF, Dubai Shopping Festival. I've never gone for it. Never. Okay, we've always
Okay.
thought of going, but we've never gone for it. So you have the global village during this time where you have like stalls from different
True.
countries
Different
and
countries.
yeah. So I've never been for any of these things, but then it
You
was
missed
such a.
out some great food.
I mean, see, these are the days, dude. Like, we didn't have a vehicle or something, and it was just the three of us and going all the way to Dubai and carrying something. So it was difficult for us to move in back then, but we heard a lot about it. And if you go to see even today also, so I teach tourism students as well. So when you're teaching tourism students, for them, when they hear about Dubai, so this is actually a tourist destination for them, Dubai. So I
True.
mean, Nitin, according to you, do you think that a part of the reason for the evolution of UAE is because of tourism?
It depends. Like if you see kind of Dubai and all,
Mm.
they're heavily on tourism.
Yeah, so
Because
that's why
Dubai is like I said, Dubai is like a tourism attraction center.
a
Now
spot
Abu Dhabi is
hotspot. Yeah.
also like too good. Like they have also got a lot of theme parks, especially the Yas Island. A lot of events, concerts, F1 is happening. So people just want to visit UAE for all this.
So
There's a
see,
lot of things to see and explore.
the reason why I asked you was because when you mentioned the fact that so the coastline that I remember and the coastline that you're seeing today, so you were mentioning a lot about the beaches and stuff. So like a beach is a very crucial tourist attraction. So like
Yeah.
when you're saying like it's an open access for a lot of people, so you have barbecues over there every Fridays, I think. So Friday is a holiday in the UAE. So tourists,
It
I
is
mean.
like there's gardens, like public gardens, where you can go with your family, and there are
Mm,
specific spots for barbecues. It's not like you can do barbecue anywhere you want. There are like spots for those.
right.
So
So
you go and do it there.
yeah, so the evolution as such, if you go to see like from in terms of family evolution also, so we were a family who would go, not just me, I'm talking about generally Indians or expatriates. When we used to go as a family, it would include outings mostly to grocery stores or supermarkets. So back then you had Choitram or Abu Dhabi Cooperative Society, and these are like the two main chains back then. Like this is
So
during our
like
times.
first time when I visited in Abu Dhabi, right, along with my dad,
Mm.
we just had like I would say it was like around like one was Murur Cooperative and one was the main tourist club cooperative, and then there was Al Shla Plaza back then. So
One
these three
second.
were like yeah.
Isn't the tourist club corporate still there, or is that changed to something else? If I'm right.
Yeah, it is changed to Abu Dhabi Mall now.
No, no, no. Before the mall, is it? This is next to the mall, dude.
It is. The cooperative is. Yeah, it is just right next to the mall. The mall is like taken over by the individual shops, and cooperative has moved inside the Abu Dhabi mall now.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so earlier it was an entire entity altogether.
Before it was a separate building, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
So I remember, so that the main thing for me was going for these shoppings was like we get that 1 dirham ice creams there, end of the shopping.
yeah.
That was like my treat for staying patient.
Uh, for me, it was the rides outside that, but
Oh,
I'm not.
true.
Yeah, but one thing which the reason why I asked, I remember that the Abu Dhabi Cooperative in Tourist Club was a separate entity. Was if you remember, it was like a whole glass building on the side,
True, yeah.
right? So you would have those two elevators, which like it's a see-through elevator, right? You could
True,
see
true.
the, oh my god, that was so amazing to look at. You would just go
Amazing,
inside
yeah.
just to ride the elevator. So I'm saying that that is the evolution. So we have gone from that kind of a family to now going to like regularly going to Dubai shopping festivals or your GTEXs. So GTEX again is a exhibition for tech, right? Your technology and your softwares, whatever. So if I'm right. Um,
Like it is all for the gadgets and the latest devices, all those things where the people come and just display it out there.
Yeah, so that is like it's a that evolution itself goes to show as to how UE in itself has evolved through the years. Like,
And not
just
only that, they even have every year they do have an Arab health exhibition where people from like different countries they come and
Mhm.
they showcase the latest advanced healthcare units and devices, technological AI solutions for healthcare. How the healthcare can be much more simpler using the latest technological. So
so,
people from like different countries. So it's like that inside the World Trade Center, there are like
mhm.
different countries, like different rooms for different countries. They just come and showcase and like how they collaborate with the local partners here. So all those happens like UAE, like every year they have like a lot of events going on, all these
Mhm.
advancement, and they just evolve it. It's kind
So
of evolution like every year. They're
right.
taking to next stage with the latest technologies in each department. Not only there's one department, like every sector is like improving.
So like when you so actually a good point that you brought up was regarding the collaboration with different countries. So again, this is also in line with the ambition part of it. How did you get your driving license?
I got it in my first try.
No, no, no. Like how was your learning? Like how did you learn your driving?
There was a learning campus here. We had to go and enroll there.
Yeah,
Then
this
we got
was
the theory. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
we
you had
got
your
theory test
theory and then
first.
practical, right? So this is what even I went through.
Practicals and practical we have to give around 10 sessions or something like that. And
Yeah.
after that, you get your date. Your date will be like 1 month away. So that 1 month
So
is the
you
time
had
where
two
you can
dates.
hire a
Yeah, but you had 2 dates. You had a parking test date and you had your
yes,
driving test date. Right.
yes,
But so this is
correct.
what we remember. But if you remember when your dad or like, so my mom was driving by like the, and I've seen how she's gone for these tests. So this is back then when the vehicle were manual vehicles,
Oh
manual
yeah.
transmission vehicles, right? So then so
They had a different test, like hill test, everything.
exactly, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
So
yeah.
then you the bridge test. So
The bridge and hill, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it was
so
hill test. They
bridge
had to go on the
basically
slope or something. Yeah.
you have to stop mid. So it's a bridge. It's a
Yeah.
bridge test. So basically, this was in defense, I think, Murur. Yeah. So you would basically
Okay.
go like up the slope and you stop the vehicle there, and so they're checking and seeing whether you're able to hold the vehicle without it going back, and then they ask you to start the vehicle and move forward. So if you start the vehicle and your vehicle moves back down, you fail. Okay,
Yes.
so it was so the thing is no, the reason why I bought this thing up was because back then you had like these the training vehicles were basically a taxi, right, with an extra steering wheel on the like the other side
Yeah.
of the
True.
right.
Is there right now also because yeah, that is kind of learning vehicles that because once you clear your practical test and parking test, you get your learners this thing card
Yeah, and
where
you
you can
can
hire
learn,
a private tutor and you can go on the main road and you can learn.
but that is private tutor now, right? So back then that was
Yeah.
the tutor. They you don't have a
Okay.
specific thing back then. You like this that you have to find somebody through reference and all that, and then like okay, so this is a tutor, and then you have to go and you have to give your test. So this is only like from what I remember, Abu Dhabi driving test and driving learning experience. So I don't know when exactly, but somewhere along the line they have tied up with a Swedish company, and your learning experience took a like leaps and bounds into the future. So so when you mentioned that you did your theory and your practical, along with that you also had your computer simulation. So you would sit like, so we used to have, we have driven these vehicles in arcade games, right? You used to sit in the car
Yeah.
and you had that, the TV screen in front of you. And everything. So
True,
this
true.
one had like three screens. I don't know how many people I've killed in that.
No, but we had like situations, rainy situations,
Exact late
or
night
climate
situations.
changes.
Yeah,
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 late
yeah.
night climate changes,
So I'm
and
like,
we had speed barriers.
yeah, I was like, dude,
And the best thing is like
how
they
does this
even
know here?
demonstrate. Another thing is like they even demonstrate the effects if not wearing a seatbelt. There's like a
I was in
collision
that. I was in
class.
that.
Yeah.
I
So
was in
they
that.
ask candidates if you come in,
If you
wear
want
a
to sit, yeah,
seatbelt,
yeah.
and then they make you just
Flip
follow it.
the vehicle. They flip the
Yeah,
vehicle
flip it.
altogether.
So yeah, so what happens is like nothing happens. So they're creating the awareness, like why you should wear a seatbelt while driving.
And so they even teach you the importance of like whether you should wear the seatbelt first and then adjust your seat, or you have to adjust the seat first and then wear the seatbelt, and why sometimes your seatbelt jerks when you pull to lock it, right?
Yeah,
So the thing is, they have taught you the practical things behind it, and so that gives you a much better understanding of how to drive today and why you have a lot more like a better safe road safety in terms of the UE. So the evolution from then to now in terms of like just a practical learning in terms of okay, right maro, left maro, oh, yeah, clutch maro. So from that to you have to drive on a locked speed like you the training center that is at the actual one, your speed is locked at 20 kilometers per hour. You can't go above that. You know that, right? So
even
then
like even you go above that, you'll get that wireless message in the car. Your overspeeding reduce.
no, I'm not talking about the taxis. I'm talking about in the training center. So you cannot go above 20 kilometers per hour. So we tried
No,
that.
that is what. So even in training centers, they give
Hmm.
you the car because the road everything is there right, inside the training center. So they give you the car. After a certain stage, you will be driving alone, like taking turns, everything like that.
With a wireless
So
communication in that.
yes, there's a wireless communication that they give you the message when to stop, which way to go,
Yeah,
and if you try if they see you accelerating, they'll warn you like you have to
but
reduce
that's
your
the thing.
speed.
You can't actually accelerate. They have like the circuit is blocked at 20. You cannot cross 20. No matter the moment you try, right? It starts revving up, but it won't go about 20 because the
But even a
instructor was.
message.
I think because I don't remember all the well because the instructor was there with me. He was like, no, you try and see, try going about 20." I'm like, bro, I'm shit scared. I don't know if I can drive. Like, no, try, karo. I said, okay, fine. And I go, all that is doing, it is just revving at 20 and it is not going about 20. I'm like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. So, that, yeah. So that is, so that very small thing of driving, the way it evolved, tying up with a Swedish company. You had even SKMC, that is your Sheikh Khalifa Medical Center, that also
Okay.
tied up with another. I'm not sure which country tied up with for the medical stuff. I think Canada was president, I think. But so they tie up. So they are for them for UAE evolution is all about tying up and learning techniques and procedures from other
It's not
countries and
like
adapting it,
I'll just like point it to one thing. Like you said, it's about tying up, right?
collaborating.
It's not really about tying up. They are trying to get the best solutions into the country.
Yeah, adapting it, adopting and
Adapting,
adapting to it.
adapting.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because they will have different options in front of them. So they go through everything. They'll meet everyone. They'll see what is the best options, what is the best infrastructure they can get, how can they be the state of the art thing. So they tie up
Yeah.
with the best one there.
Yeah. So, I mean, so because of that, you have like amazing, agriculture. I'm saying even agriculture also, but architectural, designs. You have scientific breakthroughs. The
I
fact
believe
that
that even agriculture development is like very good. We see a lot of homegrown products here.
I mean, so I don't know if you remember this thing. So we had this thing. I mean, so these rumors were there in school also that since there was no rain in Abu Dhabi, and they would predict that rain is going to come, so then they would say that okay, no, they are shooting out seeds into the sky, which will cause the rain. Okay, so
Yeah,
the thing is,
cloud
even
seeding.
back, yeah, it sounds very silly, but the thing is, even back then, we were so like sure of the fact that UAE is having such amazing technology that this is quite possible. That they may be able to find a way to actually make it rain, artificial rain, so that the people don't get heated up because all the heat and everything over there. So it was never out of question. It was quite possible that they could do it because of. I mean,
Actually, if you go to see, I'll just check it out. When was the first cloud seeding done in UAE?
so it was a thing, right? Cloud seeding.
Yeah, it was a thing.
Yeah, so I mean that's what I'm saying. I think this is what we came to know about it. This is when I was in fourth or fifth, I think. So that should be in the 90s. Because we used to get circulars saying like, not circular, I mean, like dads used to say like, oh, it's going to rain tomorrow. I'm like, how do you know? Oh no, no, they put this thing where they shoot the seeds into the sky and it's going to. So this is basically like when you asking somebody old, what is cloud storage, and they say like, you put data in the cloud. So it's cloud storage. So that was like,
It
no,
was first. No, it was the actually, to be honest, the project was first started in 2010.
cloud seeding.
Yeah, the UAE cloud seeding program was like initiated in the late 1990s actually.
Yeah, that's what I told you. I remember hearing about it in the
Yeah,
90s. Hmm.
yeah, true. But then I think the official this thing was like according to the like documentations, it was like the project began in 2010 actually. I don't know. I'm not so sure because the dates are like bit conflicting here. Because I was like you said, I used to hear the same words before,
Rumors,
but
yeah,
then
yeah. Hmm.
yeah, but the thing is written here like 2010. So I don't know about that.
So I'm just saying off the top of my head, I'm just saying that like these are things that you don't really count. I mean, you think that yeah, it is quite possible. It is not out of the realm of possibility that UAE may be able to do these things because technology for them is like that great. So
Yeah,
now again, getting back to the point of UAE being the strategic central location of trade and everything. So apart from all these things, what you also got to notice is because UAE is now, not now, actually for the past almost a decade and a half, it is out into the open right now. So people are now getting into the sports scene as well. So football is a major you know sport in the UAE.
true. You say about football, but you can see the current IPL happening in UAE because UAE is
My
like
point, yeah, my point exactly.
yeah. You can see the UFC happening. WWE is coming to UAE. There are a lot of like
Even the
sports events.
karate, yeah, even the karate championship also, it was like a huge deal in between when we were
Okay,
there.
I don't know about that because not
Yeah.
much into that. Like what I know is like what I follow like the F1, WWE, UFC,
Mm-hmm.
cricket. Now cricket. This was like a major thing during the COVID times. They were ready to host the IPL,
Yeah.
and they really created a good bio bubble to the players, and it's so far going smooth.
So when you're talking about the IPL and the cricket part of it, so I remember like so dad was working for SNTT, that was like Sharjah National Travel and Tourism Agency. So when he was working over there, so Sharjah Stadium, I think
Yeah,
the unveiling of that or something. So dad was invited for that, and
and UAE has got a very good history in cricket, especially the Sharjah Cups. How before India was
yeah, so we were
playing with
there
us
for those. Yeah,
Sachin's
yeah, yeah.
innings. Yeah,
So we had actually been there for the unveiling of the Sharjah Stadium, and so I'm just saying that from that one stadium, we've gone to like now I think what three major stadiums in the UAE where the IPL is being held, as a Dubai, Sharjah, and Abu Dhabi, right?
yeah.
So Sharjah Stadium being the smallest one
Sharjah Stadium is the smallest one actually.
because that is the oldest one, if I'm right.
Ah, I guess yeah,
Because
because that
yeah,
stadium is really small. Because I don't know. See, before you die, right? Before we never used to see the full matches actually.
yeah, 50
Sharjah Cup
overs
and all.
match, dude. Hmm.
Yeah, so never had the patience. I used to run away. So
Yeah.
seeing right now the previous few matches, I can really see that Sharjah stadiums are really small.
Yeah, I mean, but if you think about it, it's probably again. So there also there was an evolution that happened because back then nobody was hitting sixes and fours on a regular basis. It was like mostly singles and doubles. So then
True, the pitches were
your
like more to the slow side of the pitches,
slow,
so batsmen really need to work on for the runs.
yeah. So then with that in mind, they've made smaller pitches, and over the years, because of the IPL and people are just hitting shots after shots, so then you had to have a larger stadium. So then so now people are making fun of the fact that the Sharjah Stadium is small. But it is small because
Small,
that's one of the
yeah.
original stadiums that was there in the UAE. So
No, see, I would say that Sharjah Stadium is small, but if they had kept the wicket to the slower side, we wouldn't see much sixes happening.
so I don't know much about the sports part, so I won't get into.
Yeah,
My
true.
point just being that see, like the reason why I brought that up is the fact that again, even in that you're seeing an evolution where they have like the original remained, and they've evolved to matching stadiums to the IPL requirements and the current requirements of people smashing sixes on a regular basis. So in UAE is like I think the E in UAE doesn't stand for Emirates, but it stands for evolution. On a regular basis, they are like like it's United always evolving. It's that kind of a
No,
situation.
the thing here is like for example, I'll tell you one good example. The way how they think is like, okay, now today they see something, okay, this is good, but then we can improve it more.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's their mindset.
Yeah.
So they have for example, they have a timeline.
Mhm.
Within this timeline, we need to improve with this, and they come up
D-
with solutions.
Yeah.
And once they improve it, they think about what
What
can be
next?
done next. There's no stop. Like for example, if this building is constructed, they're like, no, this is done. But now we need to see how we can improve this further for next 10 years.
They
That's
are
how the mindset here
basically,
works.
yeah, they're basically, so I think Samsung's tagline is what next. I think that should be fit for UAE. I mean, like for them on a regular basis, it is like what next, what next, because something else
Yeah,
that keeps popping up. Whether it
keep
is,
popping up here. True.
so I think you're having the subways coming up, or was it already there? In terms of, so I never actually expected UAE to have trains, and then like the last time I went, they had
No, I
metros.
would the trains, the metros, and everything is only in Dubai now. So
That's
I don't
not
know
there in
about
Abu Dhabi.
it's not been Abu Dhabi. Actually, Abu Dhabi you don't hear a metro. Abu Dhabi is like four parallel roads.
Yeah,
You have been living in Abu Dhabi,
main
you know
roads.
that. But
Yeah, yeah, main roads. No,
yeah,
dude,
true.
like
So now,
no. Me being in Abu Dhabi is pointless because see, when I was in Abu Dhabi, you just had like few roads with the names of like I'll tell you like the most common roads like Hamdan, and that we never call it road. We call it street. Hamdan Street, never Hamdan Road. Hamdan Street,
yeah,
Narza Street, Khalidia, Khalifa, and Cornish. I think
Electra,
that's it. Electra. Dude, you're in
Electra,
Electra. Yeah. You were in
tourist
Electra.
club.
Tourist,
No,
tourist club. Yeah.
I was in the passport road.
Then you had old passport road, then you had new passport road.
Passport road.
So that is
No,
now.
now it is Al Falah Street.
See, that's my point. So like
Yeah.
me knowing the roads in Abu Dhabi is pointless because like I know these roads.
No,
I was in Hamdan,
like you said, all those Hamdan, Cornish, that all remains the same, Kaldia. Only like the my area one just got changed a bit.
but it's not just the road names that have changed, but in fact it's the roads that have changed. Like from what we used to remember was that when you used to move from KM trading, Electra KM trading, and you just go straight, right? We never spoke about like the icon of Abu Dhabi municipality. So many people associate municipality with like like when you hear municipality you think of plumbing and cleaning and stuff. But for us, those who have stayed in the UAE, especially in Abu Dhabi, municipality is the
Abu
place where you
Dhabi.
go to play. So whether you're going for cycling,
Play,
whether you're
yeah.
going for football or cricket
Football
or whatever,
match, cricket match, yeah,
yeah,
anything.
it's like it is there. So you would have. I remember. I'm not sure if it was us only. I think so. We used to have Sunrise. I think, or was it our own? I'm not sure. You would have like three different teams, and we used to have those internal tournaments. I think was it
Tournaments,
us?
yeah.
Was it us?
Unofficial ones.
Unofficial one, obviously, because we are all
Yeah.
too broke to have official ones. So,
Yes.
but yeah, I mean,
Not even cap monies used to walk back.
no, I mean, like just think about it. Right? Again, in terms of evolution, also, like we were the crowd back then who used to have tournaments in terms of okay, we'll play like for a Coke cup or Pepsi cup something. At the end of the day, we want a big full bottle of
Bottle of
Pepsi.
Coke, yeah.
It was us in cricket, I think it was. So that was so over the years, and now
No, see, municipality, like, the thing was, like, we used to come for playing cricket, but then
Mhm.
seeing the population, we just get a football, that's it.
Yeah, and the best part of it was that you would see like these Arabs playing football, and they used to get really freaked out because of how aggressive they are when they're playing. And but the thing is,
But
when
they,
you start playing, and they allow you to come and play, like okay, walla, come, and then you start playing with them, and you get into the groove, and they're very pally when you're playing. So they don't know you. Well, you come play. Okay, dude, I'm playing. So so yeah. So municipality was it's a good part of our history actually.
history,
So
like,
the reason why I
a lot
brought
of
that up,
memories out there.
a lot of memories. So the reason why I brought that up is because yeah, so the road that goes straight to Muncie, right? So now I think it's like you can take a direct road from Electra, and if you keep going straight, if I'm right, you land up towards the crossroads that goes towards Dubai. Wherein back in the day,
True.
it wasn't the case. It wasn't the case. Like you would have to take
Now the new road is
left us.
opened. You can join the new that highway road there.
So just think about it. I mean, like existing road. It's not that they have like created an all new road altogether. Existing roads they have diverted to a point where it is going to a different city altogether.
Yeah.
So
Like it is like a shortcut. Like people who are working in Mustafa and all, for them it is really easier to take the road and go. They just need to take a towards the end. They just need to take a short, like a cut to enter Mustafa,
right.
and the other cut takes you to Dubai and the outer skirts of Abu Dhabi.
Okay, so since you mentioned Mustafa, then this is something that we haven't touched. So, how do you think the education part has evolved when, like, when we were in school? I'm not talking about 10th and 12th. I'm talking about like way back, because 10th and 12th
Okay.
is when technology actually came into being a lot, like, more prominently in the UAE.
Yeah, see, there were a lot
This
of
is
schools back then.
pre mobile phone
Yeah,
eras I'm talking about.
true. Yeah, so like our age, technically, we had a lot of options here, but
Hmm.
problem was like there was no continuous. Only few schools had that continuous system till 12th grade. Few were
Correct.
till
Yeah.
fourth, few were till sixth, and few were like it was like fourth till for boys only. Then after that, they had to go separate. All those things were there.
Till sixth, I think it was like
Till sixth, yeah,
till
sixth.
sixth. Yeah.
Or I don't know about the
St.
age.
Joseph, St. Joseph's.
And
Yeah.
yeah, St. Joseph. Yeah. Then we had like Sunrise, our own, and Addis.
Our own was till the 10th.
You sure?
I was in our own.
Okay. Then yeah.
Our own
So
was from
then we
10th,
had
10th to
like
10th.
then we had like Addis and Sunrise. So we were in Sunrise,
So for those who
and
don't know, ADIS is basically an acronym. It stands for Abu Dhabi Indian School. Although now I think it's become is it international school now, or how is it? Or is it still Indian school
it
as
is
well?
at. I think it is still Indian school. I'm not sure because I'm not much into this thing now because
So
yeah,
I was in Indian school. So my entire
yeah.
schooling was
And
in Indian school
yeah,
almost.
true. And then there was Cambridge as well, if I'm not wrong, back then.
Cambridge? No, yeah, Shoifat.
Yeah,
Cambridge was in there.
yeah,
Shoifat was
sure,
following
sure, sure, sure,
Cambridge.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
This thing.
Cambridge, yeah, true. The syllabus. I mean, so there
Yeah,
was options for kids in terms of different syllabus. Like state syllabus was there, the model school was there, I guess,
yeah, yeah. Model school
and
following CBSE.
no one was following the state syllabus.
They changed it. Initially, I think
Okay.
it wasn't working out, so they changed it to CBSE.
And then there was where we studied Addis, Abron, and then they were following the CBSE syllabus, and then the
Mhm.
Shoifat was following the O system,
O level system, O level
O level system.
syllabus. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So,
true. And so we had options. We had good syllabus. We used to learn about all about the bombarding theories, everything like that.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, a
atoms
lot of
bombarding,
physics.
electronics bombarding,
And
electrons bombarding. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, something was bombarding them in the class.
Yeah. So no, but my question was like, so like for me, when I'm talking about the evolution of education in UAE, it is like uh, when we were, I think, in the first grade, from all the way from kindergarten till I think the fourth grade.
I will tell you, like, see, even before our time, there were students studying there, right? But
Obviously, yeah.
for their option was like after 12, they used to go back somewhere else, like back to home or somewhere
Oh
outside
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
studies.
yeah, yeah.
True. But by the time we came to higher schools like 10, 11, 12,
Mhm.
we had an option. Like the education sector here actually developed. They
Yeah,
brought in outside colleges to the country, like from India, from Australia, from US.
yeah.
US was like pretty less, actually, I'm sorry, but there were more from the UK, Australia, and India.
Mm. Wollongong.
Wollongong, Middlesex,
Mm.
Murdoch. Then we had
Yeah.
Manipal, Best Bilani. Then even Ras Al Khaimah also had few campuses.
Mm-hmm.
So we had an option. So I would say, like from my fourth grade till here, I have seen the full evolution of education. Because
Yeah.
during my seventh or eighth, even I had this thing like my dad was telling me, why don't we try sending him to India for 10th?
Mm.
Because there were so much options because no one knew about the future of the education because maybe we'll study and come back here for something like that.
Yeah, yeah. That was
But by
always
the
sort of a
time
thing. Yeah,
there's all the confusion like why he should go after 12th or should we have a continuous education in one place.
yeah.
So that is how the situation was. But then by the time I reached 10th, then it was like 11th and 12th was available in the same school. We continued there. So 12th board exam was done. Then what? Then colleges were available. The same
Mm-hmm.
thing what I could get back home was available here, like in a,
Yeah.
just like 1 hour drive away. So
So
we had like options. Like I would say, if you want to do if you want to get a UK degree, there was colleges like Heriot, Middlesex, all those things. If you
Head
want
what?
an
Yeah, yeah. I was
Australian,
looking at that. Yeah.
if you want an Indian degree, there was like Bits Bilani, Manipal, some of the very
Mahipal, yeah.
famous colleges. Now even Amity is there.
MIT joined recently, comrade.
Yeah, now even Amity is there. So if you want to do a good MBA or something like that, it is there. Then if you want like Australian degrees, you have like Murdoch, Wollongong, all those things.
So this again brings back to the point of the most of the evolution happening because of the tourism part of it. Because I mean, even travel for the matter. Because even not just for us, even for the locals over there, even for them also, education after a point they would have to go to the US or the UK for a higher education.
True.
So yeah, so over the years they themselves brought
And
education here.
this is not only for the expats in the country, but I can say like there are a lot of international students coming here as well from Europe or some like other countries.
Yeah, so that happened later on once they started bringing in,
The
better
campuses,
institutions, yeah, campuses into UAE.
institutions. Once the
So
campuses came in, more people here joined, and the name started to spread around. The quality was good. Like, and another good thing is like it's not only just like one crowd you're meeting. Again, like I
yeah,
said, you're meeting international crowd.
yeah,
You
it's
meet like
all
nationals
culture
from
diversity. Yeah,
France. Yeah, you meet people. You meet the local people here in campuses, their ideas. You meet people from like Europe. You meet people like from different like from within India. You meet people from the different states,
yeah. And once you move to UAE, you meet people from different states and countries.
countries. Yeah, so this is like another opportunity for us. Studying here is like you're learning a lot of things. You are celebrating a lot of things as well.
Yeah, so you
And,
learn a lot about different cultures. You learn about over them.
and why people like to come here like is because of safe and secure. The thing they feel.
Yeah, I mean, even
How
security
the
through the years have changed as we've evolved in a better way.
shit, like there's nothing to evolve in security. I would say because security always remains the priority for
Priority for
the
them. Yeah,
government. Yeah,
yeah.
because it's not like evolved. They have taken it to a different level. The monitoring, how the hate speech monitoring. Like I can
So
see
they
a lot of
have
brands.
evolved. Yeah, so they've basically
Yeah,
evolved in terms of evolution security in terms of digital, not just
true.
only
Like
the
true. See,
policing.
I tell you. See, before there was like you said the pre-mobile era, right? There were
Mm-hmm.
no much mobile we had. Our time there was no much social media, so we had like something like Orkut and all.
Yeah, yeah.
And then came Twitter, Instagram. So one thing now they've done is see you have the freedom to use all this, but
Mm-hmm.
be within your limits. Your space is yours. You're not allowed to poke your nose
As
into
long as you
others'
don't trouble
business.
people. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, unnecessary you don't trouble, and they can actually file a harassment complaint on you if you're going to disturb them or like I would say like slide into the DMs or like harass them.
Yeah. So basically,
Yeah,
I mean, I think if I'm right, the laws protecting the women over there are much stronger.
law is like really yeah for women they have like special rights because women are always like a
Yeah,
higher
priority
yeah,
for them. I've,
and that
I've
is
noticed
good
that.
actually.
I've noticed
That
that.
is good because any woman can walk around in any time of the day, like night also.
Yeah. So okay,
Like,
now taking a complete different swing altogether, since we're talking about, since we've spoken about education, spoke about some aspects of technology, because technology is something which is evolving everywhere altogether, and UAE is nothing new about it. But so two things I want to touch upon is, one is the transport in the UAE,
yeah,
and second thing I want to touch upon is something that we both love. So that part we get into a little later. So
that is the end part.
yeah, okay. So oh no, so the three parts actually: entertainment, then our favorite part, and the vehicle. So let's go with vehicles first. So like, what is the oldest vehicle that you remember seeing in the UAE? So what is your first memory of a vehicle in the UAE?
Okay, see, in my childhood, most of the times it's like I used to go by walking or I used to take a cab.
Yeah. So what is the vehicle that you remember seeing the most when you were a kid?
Toyota,
Corolla, the one that weird shaped thingy. Corolla.
yeah, the weird shaped thing, and then a lot of l- Land Cruisers.
Land Cruiser was back there. So I remember. So now what we know as the virus, back then was a vehicle before Corolla. So before Toyota Corolla, it was Toyota Corona. I'm not even kidding. I remember seeing one very
Not
old version. It
actually,
was.
I'm really like not really this thing with the vehicle names because all I know is Toyota. That's it. The
Yeah,
sign.
yeah. So dude, they were using Mercedes as taxis. The
Oh,
old ones, the old Mercedes. As the vehicles are evolving, they didn't crash the old vehicles. They converted them into taxis.
taxis, yeah.
So you had Toyota Corolla. So I remember the Toyota Corolla, like what you said, and Nissan Sunny, because that's my mom's car, and those are
See,
the
Land
taxi
Cruiser,
cars.
I was not talking about taxi way. I'm talking about like generally what you see on the road.
Yeah. So on the road also you would see, oh yeah, Land Cruiser, Range Rover. Land
It was
Cruiser,
like
Land Cruiser,
those.
Land Cruiser, Land Cruiser.
I don't know about that, but it was like a Jeep kind of thing.
Oh, Jeep it was.
Like the 4x4, that's what I
No,
mean.
no, no, no. I'm saying Jeep, the company Jeep, Cherokee Jeep.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
That was that. So you had Land Cruiser, you had Cherokee Jeeps, and you had Toyota Corollas used a lot. So like so
Mazda came later, or Mazda was there before?
oh no, 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 no. You're right. Mazda was there earlier. So you had Mazda,
Mazda
you
was
had
there.
yeah, Mazda was, and you had those pickup trucks. So you would always see Mazda, Toyota, and Isuzu as the pickup trucks.
Yeah,
The back I was saying empty ones.
back there's right.
Yeah. So that and then used to have so we had those big yellow buses for the school, which you see and that converted into those Ashok.
Yeah,
Abu
not
Dhabi has
yellow. It was
Ashok Leyland too.
white, green. Yeah, Ashok Leyland. Yeah,
No, it was yellow. I mean, initially, before the white buses, you had those yellow buses, the Arabic buses. So you used to always like picture them. Oh, those are the Arabic school buses. But then we had those for a
true.
while, and we called Ashok Leyland, bro. Ashok Leyland and U.A.E, bro. And those buses were used for schools.
So yeah, now since you brought up the vehicles, like I'll tell you how it has evolved now. The public transport. Before it was like just the taxis actually in Abu Dhabi,
Yeah,
and the taxis were like extremely cheap. It was just the meter running there. It was like smooth rides.
yeah,
There were the flows in that as well, I would say, in terms of like the hygienic way. But right
yeah,
now it has been like transformed, like modified into the next level. Now we
yeah.
have the taxi, we have the buses, and that's it. But still, that is like one of the top class taxis.
Even the
Like
bus
you get
system was nice. I mean, like, I'm not
bus,
sure, but
yes,
so it's like you have one bus which is only going to ply on the street.
true.
Okay, yeah. So then
It
so
is all
you
like
know,
bus numbers. You need to know your routes first.
yeah.
Like you like learn like, okay, this number bus is going to this way, where all it
Hmm.
will stop. There are some non-stop buses also. They'll straight away drop you into the taxi stations, the
Stations,
main
yeah.
bus, the main hub.
Hmm.
So you need to learn your number and the timing. So apparently, based on that, you can just go catch a bus and sit till your stop comes.
And there is no delay at all. It's always like on time at that point.
See, it will be on time, but unfortunately, something happens. There'll be like some 10 minutes delay or something like that.
Like on a
But
very
nothing
rare
like an
occasion
hour
though.
delay. Yeah, very rare. I'm telling, very rare. This is like very rare. That's why I said any like unfortunate events happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it starts a bit late from the station or something like that.
Yeah. So
And then we got the taxis. Then we got the Mercedes airport taxis, special taxis to receive visitors from the airports, everything.
the shopper ones.
It is the black color, the Mercedes cabs.
I don't know about those.
Yeah, it's only in the airport for the Etihad, this thing terminal.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's my brother works in Etihad, so yeah, he told me about it. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
then if you
that
remember,
is like
used to have yeah, but used to have those Avis buses. Remember those? 32-seater buses or the 16-seater buses, the smaller ones,
yeah,
not the mini ones.
not the yeah. I mean the
The
middle ones,
yeah, yeah,
not the big one, not the small one. Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
middle one.
We had it for our school as well.
For those which are like very like least plied routes, used to have those buses.
Yeah.
So those buses used to pick up people from certain points to go to the airport. So this was back in the day. I think now they have changed into these. So whether you're in Dubai or whether you're in Abu Dhabi, whatever, you have those vehicles which like drop you
So
home.
yeah, so talking about the transportation now, we got cabs. Now we got the intercity buses,
Oh, okay.
like from Abu Dhabi to Dubai, Abu Dhabi to Sharjah, Abu Dhabi to the. So you can go to Dubai, and from Dubai you can catch a connection bus to the other part of the Emirates. It's like that. Or you can go to Sharjah, and Sharjah you can like do a like how would I say that minivan services and all to the other parts of
Ah,
the Emirates. And the taxis here has been redeveloped. Like it is one of the best taxis right now. Like you are safe. Everything is monitored in the cab. There's a new monitor there where you have the GPS, you have the voice recordings, everything
yeah.
like that. And the speed is monitored, everything like that. So, like I said, the previous, like anyone can go like at any time of the day.
Any time of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you are monitored.
So
You
again,
have the safe and security feeling.
the thing is, you would never see anybody unemployed in the UAE. Like very rare occasions because like everybody has some way of earning a living over there. So this is like a main thing. So
Yeah, true.
so like
Everything has a limit. Like You have your entry permit, you have your exit permit. So by the time the exit
Mhm.
permit comes, you either get a job or you have to leave and come back again, or you can just renew your stay and then you can continue looking for whatever you came for.
So in a way that I forces you to do two things. Either that kind of forces you, or rather, I would use the word encourages you to look for a job on a regular basis, or it like one of her friends. They you can start your own business over there. So in some form or the other, you are having some sort of an income over there to stay in the place. So that sort of it makes you want to work, whether by choice or like you want to stay, you have to work. You have to earn a living
You have
over
to
here.
work.
That kind
Yeah,
of a way.
true. Yeah.
So
It's
that
like you have to find a sponsor for your business, so you need to find a job. That's it.
right.
You cannot just
So
stay here like that.
moving from the transport part of it to, we just touch on two topics now and then we'll wrap up. Entertainment. So, what was your form of entertainment when you were growing up in Abu Dhabi?
My entertainment, see, we never had any like those fancy amusement parks or nothing. We just had like it was in like I went to my first arcade games in the year of like 2001, 2002.
Really?
Yeah,
You came in
arcade
98, so
games.
you came in 98, so you can't really expect anything. So,
Yeah, true. So after 3 years, when I shifted from the Murur area to the Kaldi area, there was like some one place where there were good arcade games.
Action Zone,
No, 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 no. Action Zone was in different place, but this was in
Tourist Club.
Kaldia, next to Kaldia, Al Muheri Center.
Oh, vaguely remembered. Okay, huh. Action Zone wasn't
Uh,
Tourist Club, but okay, huh.
yeah, tourist club. Action Zone, I have been there like once or something like that, but it was like too loud for me.
It was too loud and for me it was too expensive, bro. Like
See, I
middle
didn't
class,
understand.
yeah, middle class kids who are like growing up on like like 1 rupee peanuts you get on the roads. First people growing like going into action like yeah, no, dude.
Oh, the best thing is like Action Zone gives me the vibes of that action figures they sell there.
Oh yeah, but do you know even those evolved? You know that like so we used to have like I spoke about, you had the like sitting and driving kind of situation, but then they evolved into VR way before VR became a thing. You know
Yeah,
that? So there was this one game which was like they would put this harness on you and you had the VR thing goggles on and
VR
stuff,
thing. Yeah,
and it's like stuck on a gyro motor or something. Okay, so you're basically moving front and back, and your character on screen is moving front and back, and your entire senses are like out complete. It's like you're immersed into the game. The immersive gaming scene, it came like dude back then in Action Zone, which is before, in the 2000s, prior to 2004, I think. No, yeah, no, this is in 90s
yeah.
actually.
So yeah, so speaking about the entertainment thing, like we had those amusement park, and then we got the movie theaters, and basically I'm from Kerala, right? So I used to like never ever like explore other movies in theaters. So dad used
Mm.
to get some VHS, the video cassettes of other movies, other
Oh yeah,
like Hindi, Tamil, or yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we had this video libraries where we go, we punch in, we take the
We
cassettes, we
actually
need to
had
return within
membership cards. Yeah, yeah,
membership card, yeah, and they used to write that okay, he took this movie, and you need to return it within 5 days time, all those things. So that was like
yeah.
kind of like it was like very low key entertainments actually. Some arcade games like once in a month, and one movie once in a month, like in the theaters, and then the rest all used to be like in the home. That's it.
Mm.
Like
So,
we had that very old video games, Super Mario, everything.
oh, that was what it wasn't. It was a fake one you used to get for free from Pizza Huts and from Shaky Pizza or Pizza Huts, whatever. Those
The
cartridges
KFC like
plug in and play it.
weekly, yeah, bubbling, yeah, all those
Yeah.
things.
So,
Then yeah, and it was more about like outside events compared to the current generation. We had more outside events. We used to go
yeah,
out and play.
you
That's
used to
what we
go out
do.
and play. I couldn't go out much and play because like I was like, oh no, if you don't complete your homework, you can't go out. So I was like,
So the thing is
never,
that
never
I used to
completely
live
go
in this villa area in the beginning.
out.
So there used to be like the other kids as well.
Okay.
So we used to like every day after school we used to play like for like 45 1 hour. That's it. Then after it was a study time, and then
Mm-hmm.
dad might put some movie in the night if he's in a good mood.
Mm.
If he's like all sleepy, then no movie, nothing to sleep.
Yeah. So when you're talking the movie part of it, so again there you now you don't have those movie libraries. They've all shut down, obviously because of your streaming services and everything. So it's all closed down.
They have completely turned. They have evolved themselves into mobile shops now.
Yeah, they don't have a choice, dude. So like how you mentioned earlier, if you
Yeah,
have to
that's
stay in the
what.
place,
So
you have to
it's all
like
about like
work.
adapt to the changes.
Yeah. So now the thing is, So since you were talking about you being a Kerala and you watching movies, so then you had this one cinema theater in UAE, which in Abu Dhabi, which was like uh, evolved in a very weird way. Because I won't say weird, but in a different way. Because that one movie theater was very well known for. So I remember my first memory of watching a movie in Abu Dhabi was Hercules, the cartoon
Oh,
in El Dorado.
oh,
Okay.
same place where I used to go.
So El Dorado was the theater. Even now, I think I'm not sure. The last time I was there, at least it
No,
was.
now it is gone.
So this they closed it.
El- the El Dorado is closed now, and now it is like an El Dorado gym now.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, so El Dorado cinema evolved in a way which was different because so when I was there, we used to have movies and cartoons over there for kids. So it's basically a family theater sort of thing, and that slowly evolved into not in Hindi. I think Tamil and Malayalam movies. El
Malayalam
Dorado
movies,
cinema.
yeah.
And then
Lot of
just
time.
adjacent to that, you would have national cinema, which was
National
only
cinema.
Hindi movies, if I'm
Hindi.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like these two were the only regional movies you would get, not Arabic, but these stuff for Indians as such. Further on, you have Al
And I
Mariam, you would have.
like I was never ever bothered to watch English movies that time.
I mean, like, uh,
It is like any movie. It's like a lottery. Enjoy it.
yeah, that was, I mean, like, so like the
That was the time.
birthday parties also evolved from, having birthday parties in the house to taking kids for movies. So, I
Yeah.
mean, so that was the thing.
And
So,
now you see, right now the entertainment thing is like completely different. You got a lot of like activities like bowling, ice hockey,
yeah,
ice skating.
yeah.
Sorry, not ice hockey.
Ice
Sorry, no,
skating
ice
is
skating,
yeah.
ice skating. Then we got the pool, billiards, all those things, and then we got like advanced arcade games.
Pool and arcade came into fad when we were in school, dude. And I think when we were in ninth and tenth, it was
Yeah,
I
true.
remember
And
bunking
like
and doing that.
then
Oh,
this
we
is
did
like different level
PlayStation
game.
cafes.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. The different level of games like PS, all those like high level of PC gamings,
VR
network
gaming
gaming,
also. Yeah, yeah.
all those things. And then
Speaking
we
of
got like
network gaming, Counter Strike.
Counter Strike. Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. We got cafes here running like the high end CPU running all those games and everything.
Yeah, so back
And
then we
then
had that.
then we got like Abu Dhabi has like Dubai is like has got a lot of attractions and things.
Mm-hmm.
And Abu Dhabi has built all those Warner Bros. Theme park, all those kind of things, Yas rides.
So I think if you go to see like now in India, what happens is most of the time people like
And another thing, I'm just cutting you off.
yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Another thing is like in the malls now you can see a lot of like kids play sections. Like our time we never had all those, so
Yeah,
parents
our
can like
play
after
section was in the
shopping, the
trolley.
kids can no like they have this own like action zone kind of things.
I'm saying when we were kids, our play zone was in the trolley. Like
Yeah.
parents will dump
Oh,
you in the trolley
dude,
and just like grab things from here and there. You stay in the trolley.
I
I
was
don't
not
know.
even in the trolley. At
I
least
was
I
the
had to
driver of the
walk.
trolley.
I had to walk.
But yeah, I mean, so that has evolved to such point that like. So what I was trying to say was that in India, you have people who are like the kids are like at home or like on PUBG or Counter Strike, whatever it is. On the other hand,
Hmm.
in the UAE, you don't have kids sitting in the house. You have them out playing,
The
swimming,
thing is that
acting.
see one thing I'll say, see, we cannot compare. Our time we never had this PUBG, Call of Duty. Like technology
No,
wasn't
I'm
that
talking about
advanced
today.
in
I'm talking
game.
about today. I'm talking about
See,
today.
today also you see a lot of people like in mobile. They come to outside also you can see them with the phone in their hands, texting or doing something.
But they're out
Like
and they're playing. After playing, they're again on PUBG.
on yeah, something. So technically, eventually, maybe once in a week they all hang out playing something, and then eventually they'll be in some kind of digital game they'll be on.
Yeah, I mean, because just think about it. In terms of entertainment for us, also, it was not just about your theaters and your arcade games. You also have like, see, if you remember, either Thursday evenings or Fridays in the afternoon, we would go to either municipality or which is the place near, which is at Adma, not Adma, Apko, was it?
I'd guess.
I'd guess. So I'd guess is
Yeah.
recently. So earlier it was all like always municipality. So in AdGas, you can always see like in different parking lots in AdGas. For people who don't know, AdGas is a company which is Abu Dhabi, oil and gas. So they have like a huge parking lot. So people play football there. The people play one
Cricket.
touch cricket. over there. So it's like a you can see dude different parking lots. You can see people of different ages playing. So people are out there playing. So that is the entertainment part of it. Now, my very the favorite part of it. What is your earliest memory of food in UAE? Not home cooked food.
Okay, the first outside meal which actually dad introduced me to was like KFC.
Ah, okay, yeah. I think yeah, the majority was at KFC.
KFC, and then it was shawarma with
All time
hummus.
favorite. All time
Yeah,
favorite. Yeah. For me, it was
and
shawarma, but not shawarma only. It was the whole, the rotisserie chicken, the grilled chicken.
yeah, the grilled chicken, the grilled chicken.
Oh my god, I still
So
even till
for
date.
first time, dad even introduced me to that, but I was not really like I didn't like the appearance of it first time.
Yeah, but once you started eating that, dude, you couldn't
Eating, yeah,
stop. You couldn't stop
yeah,
it, bro. Shawarma, yes. Irani shawarma, yes. I'm not sure if it's still there. SEF, SFC,
SFC, yeah,
Southern Fried Chicken. It
it's
was a
there.
landmark more than. I mean, people never went to eat there in SFC. It was more like a landmark. Huh? Yeah, I'm in SFC
Landmark.
building. Yeah. So you had Popeyes,
But
you had Wimpy's.
so before, like, see, before when I was small, I never used to know the names of all this. I just knew the names of like KFC and one some Arabic restaurant like next to my villa area where they used to sell the shawarmas and grilled
Hmm.
chicken. So grilled chicken, I was not very fan of this, so I used to just go for shawarmas. That's it.
Hmm. But if
And
you go
after
to
time,
see,
we prefer like
sorry.
and yeah, compared to the old time, we used to get like all the whatever food we need. Like our kind of food was already available here.
Hmm.
So majority was like home cooked food. Maybe once in a week we head out eat or something like that. It was like that.
But you notice one thing. I mean, I'm not sure about today, but for us and many people, very rarely would you find them in the McDonald's. You know, majority of them would always be in a shawarma shop, all those like really local shops. That bun roll or whatever it is, and then they would eat from a grocery store. Like, you would have those croissants and all that things in their packages. Like
Croissants,
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
cakes, that marble cakes.
Marble cakes. You just buy those things and you're like set for like life. And parathas, those
That
Malabar paratha with that
paratha
omelette
and
wrap.
chai, but I don't think that.
Oh,
Yeah,
early morning, bro. Early morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. They open up and they keep for those taxi drivers and everything, right? So then I think after night out or something, I went early morning
paratha and
hot.
keema.
No, they gave me paratha with omelette and Soleimani
You can
chai.
choose the fillings actually. Yeah, you can choose the fillings. You can use a paratha, omelette, paratha sausage, or paratha keema.
So talking about the different types of cuisines over there, do you remember this one time when so Zishan and I, so that okay, so we haven't mentioned this. So we have a third speaker in the above average podcast. It's Zishan, but because he's caught up with something right now, he's not able to join us. So when
Yeah, he will
Zishan
soon
wanted,
join,
he,
and
he should
you can
show.
ask him why he was. Yeah, he was missing in the first episode.
So the thing is, so when Z wanted to like, so Z and I were like into this fitness thing for like maybe a week or something. So we were like, bro, morning 5:30, we have to get up. I have to call the guy like, bro, no, bro, I can't get up right now. Like, we are going. So we ran municipality like 1 or 2 laps of municipality, and then we would just collapse. Okay, and then we were like, okay, we'll go. So he used to drive back then, and this is the time he has to come visiting. And we went, we picked up Tawhid. So Tawhid is a classmate of ours. So we went, we picked up Tawhid, and we kidnapped you also because you and Tawhid were living in the
Yes,
same area, right?
yeah, I know. I was nicely sleeping, and you woke me.
So we kidnapped the both of you, and we came to our area. Near, so Zishan and I were staying in the, like nearby, and you and Tawhid were living nearby. So we picked up both of you, and we came to our area, and we ordered for something, food, right? So the thing is, I don't know what I ordered, right? And just
I remember you ordered something with the mutton and paratha.
yeah, okay. So the thing is that you guys
I should
ordered all
remember
this.
that.
You guys ordered like things that you could eat. And I suppose, "Oh, this looks interesting," and I ordered that, and it's like this huge thing. It is stuck over there. I'm like, wait, this doesn't look like the part of a of an animal that we should probably be eating. So I mean, it just goes to show the variety of food you would get. You know.
True. So speaking about those, I can say like right now, any part of the food, like if any part of the world food is available in the UAE. Like you go to Dubai, you go to Abu Dhabi, you go to Sharjah, you have a lot of options and varieties.
Yeah, I mean the most
Like
famous place is
yeah,
Oasis,
from India to like Brazil, you get it anywhere you want.
Brazilian food.
Yeah,
I didn't know about this.
yeah, there are Brazilian foods.
So
Like
I know few places in the in Abu Dhabi for food was Oasis for Chinese food. Then you have India Palace for obviously Indian food. Then a little later came Asha's for Indian food on a more higher level.
like there is a Brazilian restaurant in Abu Dhabi, one in Dubai. There is. It's all like dining. Like in Dubai, it's in Mall of the Emirates. There are options you get.
Okay, Mall of them. This is a huge place. But okay, so
Yeah.
we'll start wrapping things up because I think it's been a while now. So we'll start wrapping things up.
Yeah.
So overall, when you see the evolution of Abu Dhabi from when you were in Abu Dhabi as a child and today, so which like as a child, would you still prefer to live that same side, or would you prefer to be a child now in the UAE?
See, that is tricky. See, as a child, I had my part of fun actually. Like I used to go out. There was no mobile, nothing, for the curiosity to meet people tomorrow, discuss what happened yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And to talk about the TV shows, the movie I saw. Right now, what I can just take my mobile and test through. I saw this movie that is like crap. Oh, this is good. But
Ah,
before it
okay.
was like a lot of things. Like there was an excitement to do all these things because you need to physically meet them, right? There's no other way of communication.
Yeah. So more
This was like
socially.
landline. Yeah, landline. It was there. We just
Mm-hmm.
used to landline to say like, you tomorrow we'll meet up at 5 o'clock down.
Huh. Right.
All those things. Yeah. So this was the main thing. So that was more fun. There was more I would say like outside events which we could enjoy.
It's more
There
social.
was
Yeah.
like proper, yeah, more talking in the family as well, I would say.
Yeah. True. True.
Yeah. So see, you need advancement in technology and everything, but
Mm.
at the same time, you need to live your life, like enjoy it. So I would say like for me, my childhood was like something totally different, and I would like really love to relive that.
Okay.
That was like we were enjoying each and every moment, like what we had in front of us.
I would say. I mean, if I'm not a very social person, so me staying away from people is what I enjoy the most. So this I honestly I wouldn't mind being a kid at this point of time in my life. Like if I'm living in this era in the UAE, I wouldn't mind being a kid right now because like the way of lifestyle that is there, the amazing food that is there, the places that you can go and stuff, the more like you have now because it's expanded to a point where you have access to different parts of the city, which is like you have more gaming centers, you have yeah, money also, yeah, sure, but it is expensive, dude. Like, obviously, but then but again, it is expensive, and because of that, automatically you would have to work in such a way that your salary range also would be along that, to
Yeah,
match that
true.
lifestyle.
Like
It's
yeah, true.
matching.
It is like the lifestyle depends on how you decide to live your life.
Correct. So now, like assuming the
Yeah,
fact that you're having that sort of an income with you to enjoy that kind of a life. So see, we at our age right now, we can't actually enjoy that part of it right now because of the lifestyle that we live, because they're constantly savings and stuff like that. But if you're a kid today and you're living in that, in this era of it, you're like on social media, you are on, like constantly, you can meet friends any time of the day, anytime, wherever you want and stuff like that. So I wouldn't mind being maybe like 17 or 18 right now, not 10,
yeah,
11,
okay.
17, 18. So like this is like the
I
rebellious
like
phase.
I would like prefer my school life right now, like the high school life,
Yeah,
10,
yeah,
11, 12.
yeah, yeah. 11, 12,
This is
10.
the best time because
Yeah, yeah.
because to a certain extent there is a networking, and to a certain extent we can have the good entertainment, and the academic also has evolved a lot. There's proper guidance
Students.
on that.
Yeah, yeah, but as like students and all, we're not really thinking about the academic part of it. We're more thinking about like, oh, if we're in school and we have touchscreen phones and stuff, so like we can now today we can sit and play Counter Strike on
Uh,
mute or like, Call of Duty on mute.
remember how we used to We had to sneak the mobiles back into the school, the
Oh,
game
that
CDs.
that is a podcast for a different day altogether. Because that the
Different day,
amount of
yeah.
things we have done in those days. So on that note, we'll start wrapping up, and we won't start wrapping up. We will wrap up. Um,
We will wrap up now. So, in short, speaking about the evolution of UAE, we can see, like I said in the beginning, from Burj Al Arab to Burj Khalifa,
mhm,
and from the Pearl to the technological advancements right now, what all we have, the Expo is coming up, the more development will be coming up in this country.
mhm,
It's not going to something. It's not going to stop now because of any situation. Because the country is like as a visionary leaders who are just planning the best for the country in the coming years.
right,
Like this country is like there's always a hope for anyone who wants to like work hard and earn something.
right.
And there are like very strict laws protecting you out there. You're equal. Like you're
Correct.
not you're not like someone different from the law. The law is equal for anyone. You do something, someone does bad to you, you can approach them and justice will be there for you.
Right.
And
And
speaking about food, you get your favorite food here.
that is most
Like
important.
yes. So like coming to UAE is like one experience which I would say like everyone has experienced. And only reason why I say it because the multicultural this thing you face around, the people you meet, the different nations you meet, the things you learn. This is like a lifetime experience, I would say.
Right.
Like it's like a completely different thing you're learning in your life. How to like exist and enjoy your life and enjoy as one.
True. So, for those who are planning to maybe move from their homeland to a different country, it's not that we're saying that to come to UAE altogether. Number one, we are not being sponsored by UAE. I hope we are being sponsored by any tourism country, tourism agency of UAE. I
Yes.
hope we are, but we are not.
We wish.
We are actually just the people who have grown up in the UAE and we have experienced these things. But
So
like I
technically
said,
we are saying like what we
experience.
saw like
Yeah.
through our eyes, like how our life was and how our life is right now. Like
Going.
few people left from here for good and few people continued here for good. So like Sishan here, our third speaker, he left to Canada for good. So when he comes, you can hold him and ask like these two idiots here said a lot of good thing about the way. So why did you leave? You can ask him directly.
So no, so my point was that for people who are planning to leave the country or who are thinking of moving away from their homeland, it's not necessary that you have to go to UAE. I'm just saying that if you plan to be an expatriate, you can go to such countries. Like maybe UAE would be a sort of a benchmark for you to keep, where you have countries which are giving you an opportunity to grow in terms of career as well as a personal growth.
Career
Yeah,
person.
personal growth, and these are probably
You
benchmarks that you
learn
would
you
keep.
learn new things. That's
So
the
look
thing.
for
Main
culture
thing. You learn
diversity.
new things. Yeah.
So when you're going as an
And
expatriate, I think you look for cultural diversity and technological growth and your growth as well, where you can probably live with a family there. So these are few things from my side which I would suggest if people are planning to leave to go somewhere.
another thing compared to like different countries where you have read in the news, the racism is like towards like very low. Like there's no racism.
Every country somewhere or the other, somewhere somehow indirectly
Yeah,
gonna
but
have
I would say it's like very very low. Like that's how the
comparatively.
low and the law and the rules are here.
Comparatively. So, on that
Comparatively.
note, we are people who are above the average, and this has been the Above Average podcast. Please do catch up with us. And if you're
Yes.
on YouTube, please do like, share, and subscribe. You'll see somewhere links will be coming. I'll put it up somewhere. And if you're
Yeah,
on
somewhere left
Spotify,
or right.
if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast channels, you will still find us as the Above Average podcast. This is our speakers, Nitin and myself, Sean, and our invisible speaker for the day, Mr. Zishan. So the three of us.
Station. And don't forget the bell icon, guys. I think Sean forgot
If
about that.
if you're on YouTube and you're watching us on YouTube, do hit the bell icon, not with the hammer, but
Yes.
click it and click on subscribe for all.
Please take care of yourself. Please wear a mask.
And wash your
This is for
hands.
your own safety.
Wash
Yes.
your hands. Remember, whatever your hand touched, you're eating that thing. So wash your hand. So we'll see you and hear from, and you'll hear us a little later. And thank you for joining us. This has been the Above Average podcast.